All right, well, I'm already recording. I got that whole Batman thing.
Damn you.
It's all right. Maybe I'll just edit in the big schlongs or early from earlier, because I got that recorded too. But
Yeah, just edit that on top of it. You know you're not gonna do it. You don't edit these.
I kind of edit them. I cut a couple seconds off the beginning.
Exactly.
That's like the extent of it. If I let the end run when we're just like sitting there quietly, instead of just like stopping recording in the middle of someone's sentence, and then I cut the end off a little too. Or if there's an emergency and someone has to like get up and walk away, and there's just one person left on the podcast, I edit that out too, because that's awkward.
That would be awkward.
Yeah, it would. Anyways, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 84th episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan. With me, as always, Joe.
Hey.
How's it going, Joe?
It's going great.
Yeah? Your Patreon stuff working out pretty well still?
Yeah, pretty well.
People are actually paying their Patreon goals?
Yes, they are. It's amazing. Everyone's been paying. There hasn't been anyone who hasn't really not paid.
Pretty astounding. Because I think it's... I know a couple other people who are running Patreons right now. Actually, it kind of makes me want to do one, but no one wants to play my video games. Is that I'm making games to try to make money right now, not like make the games that I want to make, because I don't have any money, so I can't make them. But if I made one of them...
Could you entertain the audiences for about 10 seconds while I disappear for 10 seconds?
Oh man, I don't know. This is one of those things where I'm just going to edit it out. Joe doesn't know that yet. But I'm going to edit this out.
My cat wanted downstairs.
Fair enough. I got this cat. She's retarded. She thinks she's a dog, and she can't do cat things.
Like my girlfriend's dog. Dog thinks it's a cat.
Okay, so this cat tries to bark at you, but she can't bark, so she just kind of goes like, meh, meh. And then there's this railing at the entrance to our house, like this big railing, like it's pretty high up. And when you get in, when you come into the house, she like tries to jump up onto it like every fucking time. And she can't do it. She just like overshoots it or like slips off every time and falls over the railing onto the stairs. But she can't land on her feet because she's a dog, not a cat, even though she's a cat. But she can't do cat things. So she doesn't land on her feet. She instead face plants into the stairs and then just tumbles down the stairs. Like she might be brain damaged at this point from falling down the stairs so many times. Because she's such a shitty cat. Like, I mean, she's just, not that she's like a bad cat, but like she's shitty at being a cat. Like cats can like jump on things and have like really good balance and land on their feet. And she just doesn't do any of those things. Just none of them. She doesn't even meow or purr. She just tries to like bark at you, but she can't do it.
Because she's a cat?
Yeah, because she's a cat. It's pretty great. Anyways, what have you been up to this week? Or last couple of weeks, now that we're on this bi-weekly schedule that actually works out so much fucking better. Oh my god.
Playing lots of video games and working on tons of videos. I've been playing a lot of shooters recently. I've randomly got back into shooters. I've got back into a lot of things this couple weeks for I don't know why. Started playing some more Titanfall. Was playing Gears of War a lot. What else? Halo. Was playing Halo, like Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Halo 4. So a lot of shooters just randomly for no reason.
ODST comes out soon, I think this summer. The remake for that.
Yeah, their apology for crappy servers.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm assuming they were making it before, and then just they were gonna like sell it as DLC, but I guess now it's free.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it's only free if you bought it before a certain time. Yeah. I can't remember.
Yeah. It is.
It's like the same thing that they did with Assassin's Creed Unity, where it was like, oh, you bought this and the game was fucking broken. You get the DLC for free. But now that this offer stands, you cannot just buy the game to get the DLC.
Yeah. I'm gonna want to play that for sure when it comes out. My girlfriend will be getting it for free, so I'll probably play it with her. ODST is really good. That's a really good story. It's definitely one of my favorite stories in the Halo franchise.
Yeah, I never actually played it because I didn't have I sold my Xbox 360 by the time that it came out because I was just like so not interested in any of the things that were coming out on that system at the time, and I was like, I'm gonna sell this. Buy PC
I don't know,
games.
there's just like a really good atmospheric feeling to that game, and not being a super soldier and just kind of running around as an ODST with a nice silenced SMG. Everything just felt like really nice. It was, and the story on top of that was actually really well done. It was just a straight up good campaign. But on top of that, I got back into Minecraft. I've been playing the crap out of Minecraft, mostly due to Terraria. I started playing Terraria, and I kind of basically like beat it. I got to the end game and then did like the 2 end game events, and I was like, well, let's play some Minecraft. So I started playing Minecraft, and I went, wow, this is super boring. Then I found like mods that made Minecraft more like Terraria, and now I'm playing Minecraft with 36 mods on it, and I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
There was a mod that was in Minecraft that I like was interested in for a while, but eventually like never got too deep into it. It basically like you could build factories, like automated factories.
Applied Energistics.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
That might have been it. That's like the big like factory, like you can build quarries and crap like that. Yeah. That one's cool. It's very complicated, but it's cool. I have it in the 36 or whatever mod packs I currently have in my Minecraft. I'm planning to do a Let's Play on it, but I'm too lazy to do Let's Plays. When you're making 2 videos a week on your main channel that are pretty large, you get lazy when it comes to other things.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't make any videos, so I mean, fuck it.
You make podcasts.
Yeah, but I mean, it's so easy. It's so easy.
You do Twitch things.
Sometimes. Haven't done that in a couple of weeks. Christina was busy, then I was busy. We'll figure it out. We'll stream again. Right. I was thinking about streaming tomorrow, but who knows if we got time.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Ain't no one got time for that.
I know, it's such a big pain in the ass. Anyways, what other video games you been playing?
That's I think that's about it. Minecraft and shooting games. And then just like the standard stuff I usually play. Pikmin 3, Mario Party, Mario Kart. It's the stuff I play with my girlfriend like usual. But other than that, not too much. Oh, I played a little bit of, I don't even know what it was called, some new zombie game that came out for the Xbox One. I have no clue what it was called. My girlfriend got it, and she was like, you should play this. And I played it for a little bit. It was okay.
Is it the State of Decay?
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah.
That was on 360, and then it was on PC, and
it was okay. It wasn't that great.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Into it. Yeah.
I think it did really well because it just like got promoted so much by Rooster Teeth. So it was just like, oh well, fuck, our game's gonna make $1 million. But
yeah, it was. I don't know. My girlfriend's really into it, and so she's enjoying it. That's good.
Different strokes for different blokes.
This is true.
So, I've been playing a bunch of video games last week. I'm playing a bunch of games that I haven't played in a really long time. So,
it's like a thing going around right now.
Yeah, well, some of these games I wish I wasn't playing again. Oh my god. Oh. So I'm playing through The Witcher 1 again right now, which has a great story, but
getting ready for
fucking the mechanics are so bad. The actual combat mechanics are really are garbage. I'm playing it on easy because I don't like the mechanics of that game. I think I've said it before, like Witcher 1 is only worth playing if you got really, really into Witcher 2 and were so into the story that you can force yourself through Witcher 1. Like, Witcher 1 is a game where you play it on easy, you, like, one-shot all of the enemies so that you don't have to do the combat, and just fucking, like, get your way through the story. Because even the story structure is kind of, like, not fucking great. It's frustrating, is what it is. Because you're basically trying to solve a murder mystery, kind of. Like, you're doing these investigations of all of these different people, and so it involves you just, like, fucking running around this city for the whole game, like, back and forth over and over. And it's super frustrating because you know who it is, but you have to, like, get through all of these quest stages, and basically, like, it's almost like a puzzle game, like a puzzle adventure game. And it's frustrating as shit, like, some of that stuff, and you're just, like, retreading over stuff so frequently. Like, I'm using a walkthrough to try to get through it kind of quickly, because I want to get on to Witcher 2 so that I can be ready for Witcher 3, which is in less than 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks as of, like, yesterday. So I need to get these 2 games done, and Witcher 2 is going to take me like 40 fucking hours. Like, it's super long. So I'm trying to, like, hammer through Witcher 1 so that I can import my save to Witcher 2 so that I can import my save to Witcher 3. I'm pre-ordering that game on Steam tomorrow, or, well, hopefully tomorrow. I'm waiting for my tax return. I got a good tax return this year. It's like $1,800. So I'll actually be able to afford a video game. Be pretty fucking rad. Might get a new graphics card if I have enough money. We'll see. We'll see at the end of the summer. But yeah. So I'm like, the hype is on for The Witcher 3. It is real. I am so excited to play the goddamn Witcher 3 because Witcher 2 was just fantastic. So yeah, I'm getting excited. But Witcher 1 is not fun. Like, that is just true. It has 2 play modes. It has, like, a third-person action combat mode, and then it has, like, a top-down, like, isometric Diablo-type view, and it's like it plays like Diablo, kind of, in that view. And that view is objectively better than the other one. The other one where you play with the keyboard and mouse is fucking bad. The one where you just play with the mouse is much better. But they're still, neither of them are particularly good. Witcher 2, though, that's fantastic. Everyone should play Witcher 2.
You tell me that all the time.
I know. I tell that to everyone all the time. I think Shane was playing The Witcher 1, and he was like, I don't get it. I was like, no, you don't understand. No one likes The Witcher 1 mechanically. You just need to get, like, 5 hours into that 30-hour game and get super pulled in by the story. Like, no one likes The Witcher 1. It's not very good. But Witcher 2, oh boy. Yeah, besides that, I've been playing Dota 2. The compendiums went on sale this week for the International, which was actually, we'll hammer out that news topic right now. So, do you know what the compendium is for the International?
No.
So the International is the big, huge Valve-ran Dota 2 tournament that happens every year. And this is the International 5. So the 5th year running. Last year it was on ESPN. And it's at Key Arena. It fucking sells out every goddamn year. Like, it's in a huge arena in Seattle. And it's basically like the tournament's like a couple weeks long. It's a big deal. And last year they raised like $16 million or something like that for the compendium, with compendium sales. And I think this year they have it set up, for $15 million in stretch goals for the compendium. So the Dota 2 compendium is basically, it's a book. It's a virtual book. And you, like, fill out, like, what teams you want to win, who's your favorite, like, who's your favorite player, who's your favorite hero at the International, and, like, who do you think is going to win? And if you get a bunch of this, and so you guess who's, like, going to win and stuff, and if you get it right, then you get these points. and they level up your compendium. And if you level up your compendium by playing Dota 2, and then also making correct guesses for the results of the international, then you get to level up your compendium and you get a bunch of items. And the items are only available through the compendium. They'll never be on sale ever again, so you get a bunch of rare items. And so everyone fucking buys this book and plays a shit ton of Dota 2 to get all these rare items, and 25% of the sales for anything related to compendiums goes to the prize pool for the international, which is why the prize pool for the international is fucking huge. Like, last year grand prize was like $15 million. The compendium only just went on sale this week. The international isn't until like the beginning of August, so they're already up to $5.5 million.
Wow.
And they have 2 more months, 2.5 more months, 3 more months of goddamn compendium sales. So they'll probably hit the goal again.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it last year and being like, "Oh my god, so much money."
Yeah. Anyways, I've been playing Dota 2 to level up my compendium. And holy fuck, sometimes I wish I wasn't trying to play Dota 2 again.
Are you gonna be like MLG Pro and win that $15 million?
No, I'm bad. I'm bad. And people are like, people fucking yell at me all the time. I'm like, no, I told you I'm bad in the first place. Why did you guys tell me to go solo mid? I can't fucking, oh my god, no, this isn't my fault. And then people get mad at me. They call me a scrub. They report me. And I say, no, I'm just bad. And then, yeah. But my fucking win-to-loss ratio is fucking ludicrous because I'm not that bad. They just get mad at me because, like, okay, so this big new patch came out, 6.84, and it changes the metagame of Dota, like, so significantly that the way, like, when I learned how to play Dota, Rat Dota was super fucking popular and, like, really effective. But now it's not, and so I'm not that good. Like, I usually just play, like, overly safe, only take, like, obvious wins, and usually, like, you can win that game now. But now people can fucking tower dive you, like, 30 seconds into the game and get a kill, and the game's all about all about fighting all the time to get gold, and I'm like, no, man, this is not what Dota used to be. It used to be about never leaving your tower, and then just farming out as many minions as you can until you get a really good item, and then killing everyone. But now you can kill everyone right away, and I'm having trouble with it. Like objectively, this patch is so much fucking better than the last one, but I'm not adjusted yet.
Maybe you'll get there. Then maybe you'll be the best Dota 2 player ever, and then you can give me some of that $17 million.
I'm never gonna be that good. The people who are competing in professional Dota have been playing Dota like since the beginning of Dota 1. Like, they didn't start with Dota 2. I'm not good enough, man. I'm not good enough.
I wish I was that good. I'd be set for life.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta split it with a bunch of other people.
Yeah, but you really don't need that much money to be set for life.
Yeah, you do.
Not really.
Houses and shit are super expensive.
You could be set for life with $1 million.
No.
You do realize if you put $1 million into the right bank account, you get about $10,000 in interest a month.
Yeah, but I mean, there's other expenses.
Yeah, I know, but I think I could live off of $10,000 a month. I could get a nice, like, little tiny apartment, and I'd be happy.
Oh, okay, so one of the things is that it's really hard to just have $1 million. Like, if you win the lottery, they don't pay you out just like $1 million. They give you like a bit every week. It's a big pain in the ass, actually. And yeah, anyways, houses are expensive. Like, if you bought a house right away, you wouldn't have $1 million. You'd have not enough. And then also, like, the $10,000, you want to buy a house, then you have to
But most
save.
of those people who like
Then you would
just-
have to do 5 years of building the interest to buy the house, and
Yep.
yeah,
or you just rent.
forever.
Yeah, it doesn't sound that great either.
Yeah. Anyways, it doesn't need to be. That's other stuff. That's not video game related.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I've been playing Dota 2. People are really mean. Who'd have thunk it? However, yesterday I played with a guy. He didn't play the tutorial. He's like, so I've only ever played League, but I played a lot of League and I'm good at it. So I just jumped in this game, and everyone was like, oh my god, you just jumped in. Have you played? And then he's like, how do you recall? What's the button to recall? I was like, oh, you fucking retard. Dota 2 does not have a recall button. You have to buy a teleport scroll and use it. It's an item. And he was like, well, that's fucking dumb. How do you people play this game? It's like, if you play the tutorial, you would know all of these things. Anyways, he quit after like 3 minutes. He got all mad. He kept dying. He died like 5 times in 3 minutes, which is a lot. Like, he would run down the lane, start attacking the enemy, and then get killed. He was in my lane too, so it was super frustrating because he fed the enemy team a bunch of gold. They kicked my ass. They kicked my ass thoroughly.
It's okay.
Anyways, it was great to like just bond with these strangers over our hate of this person who was fucking up our game.
And this time it wasn't you.
And this time it wasn't me. I'm not that bad. I just like fuck up team fights sometimes. Whatever.
It's okay, Ryan. You'll get better.
Anyways, you want to talk about some video game news? There's a lot of video game news to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Do you want to start with some E3 stuff? There's a couple
Okay.
E3 things.
All right, let's jump right into it.
All right. Sega of America will not have an E3 booth this year.
I'm not surprised.
I'm surprised.
Why are you
So
surprised? Didn't they like completely close down as a company and only have like a tiny division with like 100 people now for mobile games?
they're relocating to Southern California, yes. But the reason why I'm surprised, and it's the same, like, so Konami had a booth last year that was just a bunch of like computers and a carpet, but like they didn't have any games or anything. Like, they had nothing. They just set up a booth in their space, because if you don't have a booth at E3, you lose your space. Another company gets it, and then you get put on a reserved list or on a wait list to get your booth back, and it only becomes available when that other company doesn't use the space again.
Wow.
So the reason why I'm surprised is that Sega is giving up their E3 space, their E3 booth, and will not have a booth next year either, probably, because it gets taken, and that company is going to fucking use it every year until they shut down. Like, basically, like, okay, THQ, like, a bunch of space basically freed up when THQ went under to, like, expand your booths or to have, like, a new company come in. But, like, the only time that booth space frees up at E3 is when a company, like, goes bankrupt and, like, closes down. Otherwise, you do what Konami did last year, where you don't even have a video game. You just, like, send some people to put a carpet down and say, this is our booth. Because if you don't use your space, you lose it. Anyways, I think that Atlas is going to be at E3, so
That should be interesting.
yeah.
I'm not huge into the Atlas games. I've
Well,
never played
Atlas is
any of
owned
them.
by Sega, so I
Okay.
think Atlas might be using Sega's space for their booth and saying that's the Sega booth.
It works.
Like, I don't think Sega has any games to actually show this year, but
Show Sonic Runner for the iPhone.
hey man, don't rag on that. That's
Okay.
They do. That's good money. That
Yeah.
and Pachinko.
Yeah. Pachinko is good money. But that's not a video game.
It's like 99% of Konami's revenue is Pachinko. Surprisingly, a growth industry.
Yes, gambling is surprisingly a growth industry.
Well, like
right?
pachinko though, like almost didn't exist come the like end of the 90s. Like it looked like it was gonna die, and it's had like a big boom again in Japan. Like it's become a big thing. A lot of places are opening up with pachinko again, and like Konami makes a ton of money doing pachinko, and they have like Metal Gear pachinko machines, like all kinds of
Not
shit.
anymore. Well, actually, maybe they still do. I don't know who holds the rights to that. I think Konami does.
Because they're making other Metal Gear games.
Yeah, no one's gonna care.
Nah. But yeah, Sega, no E3 this year. But you know who is gonna be at E3?
Oh, I know.
Personal computers. I don't know. I don't know why they're saying that PCs are going to be at E3. It's kind of weird because it's actually like a bunch of different developers. So apparently PC gaming is going to have a conference this year at E3. It's going to be the Tuesday night conference, and it is going to include people like Cliff Bleszinski. Why can't I say his name? I know it.
Cliff Bleszinski.
Cliff Bleszinski. I've never had trouble saying his name before, but I'm trying to read it at the same time as saying it, and now I'm fucked. Like I know his name is Cliff Bleszinski.
I don't even know what he's working on right now.
He started a new studio last year or maybe the year before at the end of the year, and they're making like an old school arena shooter.
He started I thought he was still with Epic, and I thought Epic just left Microsoft. Or is Epic still with Microsoft?
Epic is not with Microsoft. Epic's owned by 2K.
Oh, okay.
Who is or no, Epic's not owned by 2K, but they're owned by who the fuck owns Epic? Is it 2K? Or is it I thought they were owned by the same guys who own Rockstar.
I thought Epic was owned by Microsoft.
No. They're not. They were never owned. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh, I thought Gears of War, the original at least, was a standalone to Microsoft.
Oh yeah, I mean Gears of War is owned by Microsoft, but Epic is not owned by Microsoft.
Oh, okay.
Epic makes Unreal Engine.
Yeah, I know.
And is owned by, I don't think they're owned by 2K, but I think they're owned by the same people who own 2K. It would explain why BioShock is Unreal Engine, because they're the company that makes BioShock. Ken Levine's company. Why the fuck can I? Irrational. They were owned by 2K. Anyways, Cliff Bleszinski, Dean Hall, who I think he's the DayZ guy, isn't he? Yeah, he is. And then Blizzard, Square Enix, Devolver Digital, and Bohemia Interactive. I'm excited to see Devolver Digital because I like those guys. They make good games.
Yes,
and then the owner fucking has amazing tweets. So this morning, this big mobile developer announced that they're only going to develop top 10 games now. That was they had like a big press conference. They're like, we're gonna shake up the world of mobile development. We're gonna change everything forever. And their big announcement was they're only going to make top 10 apps now, which is hilarious because like how do you say that? And like the response from Devolver Digital is oh my god, it's so easy. Why didn't we think of this before? Devolver Digital is only going to publish top 10 video games. It's like thank you. This is what everyone in the world is thinking right now. You're only going to make top 10 apps for iPhones. Okay, what makes a top 10 app? Like what a fucking garbage like why did you call a press meeting for this? This is the dumbest thing I've seen all week. Not the dumbest thing I've seen all week. Yesterday was really upsetting, actually. Pretty good.
I'm only going to make top 10 YouTube videos. Oh, wait, that actually makes sense a little bit.
Well, I mean, top 10 performing videos on YouTube.
I'm gonna make the 10 best YouTube videos ever made.
I'm only gonna make the 10 best videos ever made on YouTube forever. Every video is gonna be in the top 10.
What happens
fact.
when you like make? What happens when you go to make the 11th one?
Well, I mean, it becomes one of the top 10 videos.
Yeah, but then
say
one
for
of
the
yours
month.
is only like the 11th. Oh, okay, for the month. All right.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, fucking what a garbage statement. Speaking of apps, did you see what happened to Threes yesterday? I like retweeted some stuff yesterday. I fucking need to talk about this because I almost lost my shit. Like,
No clue what you're talking about.
okay, do you know what the game Threes is?
Like the
Like the phone
swipey,
game. Yeah.
the swipey one, kind of
With
like
the numbers where you swipe the numbers together.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do
It's
you
basically
know
like the better version of 1080 or whatever the thing's called.
1024? All right.
Yeah.
So let me inform you about Threes. Threes is a game that released on the iPhone, and it was a premium game that you had to pay $3 for. And then this game that the creator of, like, very plainly admits is a clone of Threes came out called 1024. And the creator of that is like, yeah, I spent the weekend cloning Threes for the practice. And then 1024 became more popular than Threes because it was free, but it was shittier. The puzzles didn't work right and it didn't really have any skill like involved. Like, it took the guys who made Threes a couple of years to like balance that out to make it like a kind of like a strategic actual puzzle game rather than a game where you just swipe around. And then this other kid who lives in California made a game called 2048, which is a ripoff of 1024 and is even shittier. And it became the most popular version and made a shitload of money, significantly more than Threes ever did. And then last night, what do you think happened that made me fucking lose my shit? Like, I was in my car about to leave the parking lot, read this tweet. I was like, motherfucker, and started just like yelling in my car, like, what fucking insanity could do that?
2048, but whatever that is times 2.
No. Threes got pulled off of the marketplace for being a clone of 2048.
Wow.
It came out before it. It was the original one. It already made less money than 2048, but it got pulled down from the Android store because it's a clone of 2048. If you fucking look up 2048 in the Android store, you'll find hundreds and hundreds of clones. And the only one to ever be pulled down is fucking Threes. The original game that 2048 is based on. Ah! I've never heard of such stupidity. Like, oh my fucking god. Like,
Maybe you should just start making really bad free clones of other games that already exist.
well, I
and then
mean,
you'll be a millionaire.
my next game is a clone of a game that made a shitload of money, but I made that other game too. So I'm making another game, Hookshot Harry. It's almost done.
Which is a clone of a game that you made but didn't get any money for, right?
Yeah. But it's better. There's more moving parts, better animation. It's gonna be better.
Are you still going into that like whole lawsuit thing for that?
Oh, that's already fucking been dealt with. But didn't go my way. So
That sucks.
yeah. But anyways, my next game is fucking clone of my own goddamn game. Hilarious. But better, more moving parts. I like built some crazy stuff, and I also wrote a bunch of native share dialogue that's all fancy. Actually, I'm selling that plugin. It's not up yet for sale, but it'll be up for sale on the Unity marketplace soon. My big thing about all the games that like the small games that I'm making going forwards, because I have like the ad model doesn't make a lot of money, which is kind of shitty. Like, you don't make money off of an app if you don't get 100,000 downloads, which is really discouraging. Because how do you get that without a bunch of money in the first place to advertise with? So the games that I'm making are all really modular so that I can like sell parts of them as like plugins for Unity. So for example, like I have this share dialogue for sharing screenshots, and like I wrote that all together, and it uses the like native Android share intent and then also the equivalent for iOS, and you just pass it a texture image for like you just take a screenshot in Unity and pass the screenshot to this like piece of code, and it handles all the share stuff for you, like super easy. And so I'm going to sell that for $5. So like if you don't want to waste a couple hours figuring out how to do that, you just pay me $5 and fucking do it.
Awesome. I hope that goes well then.
So that's like my big goal, is just like make lots of little Unity plugins that I can sell while I'm making these games. Because like I want to make the games for the purpose of like portfolio work, but I need to make like a bit of money. So like piecemealing my games together and like selling source code seems like a reasonable idea. I mean, people like fucking like Blizzard and Epic aren't going to be needing to buy it because like it's laughably easy, but if you can't find the code and like don't want to actually figure out how to do proper like Android and iOS development, then this is a good workaround. Anyways, let's talk about a company that's in some not at all fucking everyone could have told you that this was going to happen trouble. Who do you think is in financial trouble in the gaming sphere?
I don't know. You tell me, Ryan.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, wow. How did I not guess that one?
Who'd have thunk it a couple of years ago when they released the Ouya?
I was just looking at like the top like most funded Kickstarters ever, and I saw Ouya on there, and I was like, wow, really?
Yeah, it is one of the. I think it is the most funded one, isn't it?
No, it's like Apple
yeah, they're
Watch
not
clones
anymore.
or
Something else came up behind it. It was that fucking card game.
No, there's like Apple Watch clones that are like higher than that.
Oh, they're not Apple Watch clones. They were first.
Yeah, Pebble. I know. But those are like.
Yeah, Pebble.
Those are the top ones. They're like the first 10 ones are just like the kind of like digital watch stuff.
Yeah,
and then you start getting into the video games after that.
Yeah, well, the Ouya raised like over eight and a half million, and
yeah,
I mean, everyone could have told you fucking right away this is a fucking awful idea. You're making an Android console. Like all you're doing is making an Android device that has a gamepad, and that is like that's not that hard to do. And Google fucking did it. And then Amazon fucking did it. So, like, right after the Ouya came out, like, Ouya's out, and it's like, all right, there's basically no market for this. Oh, look, 2 huge companies fucking took your market. Oops.
Yeah. There's, it was the 5th most funded Kickstarter now.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Above that was the card game you're talking about, the Pebble watches,
Yep.
The coolest cooler, 21st century cooler that's actually cooler, and then Pebble Time. So the Pebble watches again.
Yeah. Why exactly? I don't know. Anyways, Ouya got that 8.5 million from Kickstarter, and then it got 15 million in venture capital from some of it was from Nvidia. And then God, what else? Yeah, and then it got like another 10 million from Alibaba. They're like the Amazon, they're like Amazon but in China.
And super cheap, and everything's knockoff ripoffs.
No, not really. Like Alibaba's huge.
Yeah, I know.
But anyways, basically Ouya owes so much money and no one would like extend the loans for them, so they just have to sell themselves. They haven't found a buyer because I don't know why you would buy that company. It has no useful technology. Like, it didn't make any hardware, so it doesn't own any like crazy hardware patents that are actually useful. It made an Android operating system, of which there's millions of. So I don't know why you would want one that just happens to only run with a gamepad. And yeah, they don't own it. They have no useful technology. So I don't know who the fuck's gonna buy them.
Like,
do
hey,
you have like $60 million? Oh yeah, they need a lot more than that. So
yeah, well, if no one else offers them anything, they might take it. I'll give you $20 if no one else offers you anything. Get back to me in a few months.
Yeah, anyways, who'd have thunk that making a console for $100 to compete against everyone was a bad idea?
Everyone except for the fucking thousands of people who donated $8.5 million for some reason.
Yeah, who knows why those people did that? Fucking crazy people.
I have no clue who looked at Ouya and went, I want this. Other than maybe like, because it had like that whole like easy for game developers to make games.
Fucking not really.
Yeah, but like
no
that was
easier
their, like,
than regular
sales
Android.
Pitch.
Like
that was like their whole sales pitch, though.
You
can make console games really easily.
Yeah, using Unity, where it's fucking just as easy to make an Xbox 360 game or anything else. Like, the only thing that made it easy to make an Ouya game was that you didn't need to get a developer license. I mean, I think you did have to get a developer license, even through them, but like the dev kit wasn't fucking cripplingly expensive. Like, I can't tell you the price of it, but the Nintendo Wii U one is kind of fucking expensive. So, yeah. I'm excited to have to buy one of those. But, anyways, dev kits. So, speaking of other Kickstarter successes, the Oculus Rift today, literally today, the day we're recording, has announced when it's going to release. Well, not a specific date, but or even a month. But they're going to release Q1 of 2016, which is actually kind of interesting.
Why is that interesting?
Because it's the same quarter that the Morpheus releases from Sony.
The Morpheus?
Yeah, which is the virtual reality headset for PlayStation 4.
Whoever thought of that name was probably like, I am the best person ever at creating names, because...
Well, it's not. That's not the. It's called Project Morpheus. It's not the release name of that product. I thought that was the release name, and I was like, seriously? No, they don't have a release name yet. That is just a working name, I think, because it's called Project Morpheus. They haven't said anything else.
All right, fine then.
Anyways, the new Oculus Rift headset is basically the same kind of comfort as like the Crescent Bay prototype, which is one of the more recent prototypes, but apparently has significantly improved head tracking. And I'm assuming, I think the Crescent Bay one had like the significantly improved latency, so I think they've already fixed that in newer prototypes versus like the last one that I used. But yeah, it seemed this year that they were really close to like a final version, and I guess they're there now. So I'm excited to see how this stacks up against the Steam VR headset, which comes out this fall / winter.
I can't wait to see the reign of virtual headsets and see if they actually last.
There's a lot of upsides. Like, I like the idea of a virtual headset because of like how you could use it with your desktop. Like, that could solve a lot of my work issues.
I see a lot of like how it works, and like it's an easy home theater system. It's just like,
well, it's that it's small, so like,
yeah,
shit, like you don't need a huge ass monitor anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
But
definitely really nice. Hopefully it doesn't cause too many eye problems.
um,
Uh, yeah.
the after the first like prototype for Oculus Rift, a lot of the issues were solved by basically putting in like better screens, because like the first prototype was like very much a proof of concept, and so it had like a low res screen and it was slow. Like the latency was too low.
That. I mean like just long-term effects to eyes, like being that close to a monitor for that long, because it is still a screen and it still is emitting light, and your eyes are pretty close to it. So hopefully there's no bad long-term effects on
There
people's
shouldn't
vision.
be an issue.
Unless it comes with a free pair of gunners.
How would you even fit those on underneath the like
Find
you
a
might
way.
have problems because you wear fucking glasses, so I don't know how those fit with glasses because I don't have glasses, therefore do not have to wear a headset over
Luckily,
them.
I won't have to worry either because it's just long distances for me.
Oh, well
But
then.
anyone who's short-sighted, I'll feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
No, farsight, I don't know how it works. People who can't see close up, I'll feel sorry for them.
Throwback to last week's podcast to some more news. Was it last week's podcast? I think it was. We talked about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that was the last podcast.
Yep.
You want to know what the name of the next Tony Hawk game is?
What?
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. They're just ignoring all of the other ones.
That's funny.
Yeah, and it's being made by the same company that did Tony Hawk Ride, Shred, and Pro Skater HD.
So it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, Pro Skater HD was bad. Hopefully, if they get the physics
Same with
down,
Ride and all of the other ones.
if they get the physics down, then it'll be good. But like, so the issue with the HD version was that it had different physics than Pro Skater did, and so it just like didn't fucking control right. Like it was wrong. It just felt wrong. And if they like tighten that up and actually fix that problem, then this could be not a steaming pile of garbage. It could be not a hot mess.
Tony Hawk hasn't been that much of a skating game in a long time. It's really been replaced by the Skate series, which is utterly better in so many different ways.
Yeah, but when the last Skate game came out like a decade ago.
Yeah, this is true. Skate 3 there has not been a Skate 4. Skate 3 came out a long time ago.
Yeah, like
But,
a really
I
long
mean,
time ago. Like Skate
Tony
3 only
Hawk-
came back. So here's the thing: Skate 3 came back because of like a PewDiePie video. That's like it. And they were significantly different games. Like Skate 3 is so mechanically different than Pro Skater.
Yes, a lot. I just
Also,
mean there hasn't
it's
been
been
a
5
good
years since Skate 3, not a decade. But
there hasn't been like a good Tony Hawk game in a long time.
yeah, well,
Like,
Pro Skater 4 came out 13 years ago.
yes, and
Which is why it's so hilarious that this is Pro Skater 5. What a fucking... Anyway, we talked about it last week, but...
yeah.
What a slap in the face to the, like, other 9 Tony Hawk games.
What are they gonna call it? Tony Hawk 15?
Well, there was Project whatever with the 8
Yeah.
in it. Project 8, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The 8th Tony Hawk game literally had an 8 in the name.
Whatever.
Yeah. So that's why this gets more ridiculous, because they're just restarting the number system. There was already a game, which was the 8th one, with an 8 right in the name.
What can you do?
Nothing.
Exactly. Not buy it.
So, Broken Age Part 2 released this week. Did you play it?
Yes. No, I haven't. I need to play it.
Yeah, you do.
But it
And-
means I have to replay the first part because I deleted it. So I have to re-download it, play the first part, and then play the second part. Unless you can skip straight to this part 2.
No, you can't.
Yeah. So I'll have to replay all part one, and I don't know if I want to do that.
They like they redid the little like the last bit of part one so that it's like totally seamless. So it doesn't like end on that cliffhanger anymore. It just like you're just in a new scene.
Oh, okay.
So they like kind of changed up the end of the game. So there's no part, like when you play the game, it doesn't feel like there's a part two. It's just like you just keep playing. It's not like fade to black, part two.
So have you played the whole thing?
No, I haven't played any of it at all.
Then how do you know?
Because Brad Shoemaker was talking about it on the Giant Bombcast about how it doesn't fade to black and say part two. It just like
you and your Giant Bombcast.
It's the best video game podcast.
No, it's not. This one is.
No, they're better than us, but they're 3 hours longer.
Yeah, I don't want to be that long.
Yeah, that's too long. They got emails and everything. Their emails are about like nacho cheese and like airplanes, nuts for airplanes, like nuts and bolts for airplanes.
Send us emails at ryanbaldesi.com.
No, that's not my Ryan at Dapper Gaming, but whatever. I got some spam mail there now, which I'm not fucking happy about, but whatever. Part of being a game developer, you gotta put your email on the internet, and then fucking people. I also had to put my phone number on the internet. Fucking, I get phone calls from people I've never heard of. They're like, "We're a publisher in China, and we want to give you so much fucking money to make a video game." I'm like, "Who are you? What? No, go away. It's 2 a.m. Why are you phoning me?"
Fine, give me it, but I'm not promising anything, and I'm not signing any contracts. Just give me the $4,000.
Yeah, just give me all of the money. All right, let's move on to these last two pieces of news. Let's move on to the happy one and then end on the down one.
Okay.
Feels like a good way to end this podcast on a down note. I feel like it's obvious that the down note is the Konami stuff.
Yeah.
The up note is ukulele.
Oh yeah.
You like that name? Ukulele?
I love it.
It took me a while to realize it's a pun.
It's okay.
Because I wasn't like hearing it, I was just fucking reading it, right? So I was like,
yeah.
Yuka-lele. One person's named Yuka, the other one's named Lele. But yeah.
You didn't get that from the original Project Ukulele?
I didn't read about Project Ukulele.
Okay. That was the project name for ukulele, was Project Ukulele. But actually spelled correctly, ukulele. Like the instrument.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
No, I forgot.
So basically they put the actual name of the game in the project name. And when it came out, we're all like, you.
Anyways, Rare is making a new video game. And by Rare, I mean Platonic.
Yes.
Platonic.
And by Platonic, we mean specific people who used to work for Rare, who made the good games that Rare used to make.
Yeah, I was thinking back. I don't like any of the old Rare games.
I love them all. I've been playing Donkey Kong Country 64-bit, and I still love it.
Yeah, I don't like that kind of platformer.
You don't like the Collectathon platformer?
No, I'm not a huge fan. And so...
I really enjoy it, but it's because I have a weird obsession with 100%ing things.
Yeah, I don't at all.
So it keens to my gists.
Yeah. So, like, although Ukulele looks quite pretty, and, like, I like the art style and stuff, I don't like the mechanics of Banjo-Kazooie. I don't like the mechanic. Like, I like the platforming part. I hate the collecting part. I think it's garbage. It pisses me off, actually. And so, like, I just don't, like, I'm not that into it, where I just, like, kind of want to, like, keep making progress through the game, and, like, I don't want to have to worry about fucking going around and getting enough goddamn coins. In this case, I think they call them Peggies. Is that the reference to Jaggies?
Maybe.
Or Jiggies, I mean.
Maybe it's a reference to the British rating system. And they go, Peggy 18. We'll never know. The one thing that is...
It's probably a reference to Jiggies.
Probably. From what they stated, you can... like, it's a collectathon, so you collect things, obviously. And those collections can be used to expand the current world you're in, or you can just not expand the world at all, go to the next world and just keep doing that until you're at the final boss and like not have to collect a whole lot. So they said like you could collect a shit ton of stuff and expand the world and enjoy more of the game and all that kind of stuff, or you could just like, kind of like speed your way through it if that's what you want to do.
But I don't want to speed my way through it. I just want to enjoy all of the world and then like do all of the bosses and like all of the shit where I don't have to collect stuff.
Well, that's the point of a collectathon, Ryan. I'm sorry.
I know.
That's the point of the game.
I know, and I just think it's dumb.
It's all right.
Don't worry, I'm working on a 3D platformer right now. There's collecting in it.
I don't know if I'm going to I don't know if that's going to work well.
Hey, just because I don't like collecting doesn't mean I can't design a level and put collecting in it, okay?
Okay. All right. I'll let you
It's
have
totally doable. I mean, I know people who work on Call of Duty and they fucking hate it. They made a pretty good. They've made a pretty okay Call of Duty game for China.
I don't what the online one that like everyone bashes all the time.
Hey man, it's
You mean
all right.
the online one in China? That's a like complete ripoff of number 4.
Yeah, but it's free. That's the fucking point.
But it's not like.
It's just not available here because it's a totally different market. Like it wouldn't fly here. Why release a product?
They didn't. It's not like they built a Call of Duty from the ground up. They took an already idea from COD 4 and just remade it for an online user base on PC.
Well, they had to like do it in a new engine and reprogram it all and do it over. I mean, what's the difference between that and the next
because
Call of Duty?
You're not designing mechanics and stuff. You're just going.
You mean like every Call of Duty sequel ever since 4?
Kind of, but you're not literally taking the game and just remaking it and remastering it.
As someone who knows people who worked on that team, I know that that's not a remaster. It's a little more than that.
From what I've seen, it looks exactly like Call of Duty 4.
It doesn't even share the assets.
The one that's out right now and playable?
Yeah. Call of Duty Online?
Yeah.
It's not the same assets. Because I know people who worked in that studio on that game.
All right.
Yeah, it's a different game.
Okay.
It just like it's made for a different market, and so the assets are of a lower quality because it's made to be a fucking free-to-play game where you have to sell shit and it needs to be cheap to develop. Yeah, and assets cost go skyrocketing when you go to higher texture higher texture resolutions. And also when you up polygon counts. And then also you can't guarantee performance on low-end PCs.
Okay. That's all I have to say about that.
All right.
Not going to continue on the topic.
Anyways, Ukulele fucking smashed Kickstarter goals.
By
What's it up to
million.
at this point?
1,420,882 pounds.
Yeah.
So about
With
$3
over a
million
month to go.
American. They haven't hit all of their stretch goals because they've added like 4 more. No, they've added 3 more. And they are about to hit the last one, which is basically an orchestral score for the game. And then additional funding after that will just add to polishing the game up. That's a lot of money. I think that's like 3 million American, and they asked for 175,000. Well,
175,000 pounds.
yeah. So they've made about 1,300,000 more pounds than they asked for.
Yeah, like they're almost at 10 times their goal.
Yeah.
When's this coming out again? 2017?
They're looking for October of 2016.
All right. So Q1 2017.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's less delayed than every other Kickstarter project.
Yeah, it says here on their Kickstarter, they the game footage you see today is a result of less than 3 months' work. The conceptual phase of Ukulele started in December of 2014, and they're looking to release on platforms in October of 2016.
I like that Kickstarter did something that most people don't do, which is they gave a pie chart of their cost breakdown.
Yeah, that's nice. That was definitely nice.
It's not super in depth, which is not great, but at least they're starting to be forward. Like they can budget themselves, kind of. Is that they like put their budget into really broad ass segments, like code, design, and art, 40% of the budget. And it's like, okay, but that's 3 huge ass fucking different things.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, well, it definitely looks like they know what they're doing, and I hope they would because they've been in the gaming industry for a long time, working with a lot of big companies.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of them made like Viva Pinata and Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah, Nuts and Bolts, Viva Pinata.
Actually, Nuts and Bolts is a fucking legit game.
Yeah, it is. Everyone who played Banjo-Kazooie, the original game, absolutely hate it because it's not Banjo-Kazooie. But I know thousands.
Yeah, but
well,
Banjo-Kazooie was fucking not that great.
Yeah, well, that's just because you don't like collectathons.
Yeah, because they're bullshit. It's such a lame-ass mechanic.
I don't agree with that at all, and that's an opinion. But Nuts and Bolts is really good. I can't get into it, but I know a lot of kids who really love that game just because of the creative aspect to it. I've seen people like build planes that fucking turn into cars and shit. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Nuts and Bolts. Good use of those characters. Just saying. Bring on the internet hate. I bathe in it. It sustains me.
That game, basically the problem with that game was it shouldn't have been a Banjo-Kazooie game. They should have used someone else for that game, a new IP, anything.
Yeah, man. Game's fucking good. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I think it would have been better if it was like Tip Top Nuts and Bolts.
Who the fuck is Tip Top?
He's the guy from Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh, well, I mean, they don't own him, so...
Yeah.
Man, you want to talk about some fucking Konami stuff?
Oh, yeah.
I dig me some Konami.
No one digs me some Konami right now.
So if you didn't play PT and you don't have it downloaded right now, you're out of luck.
Did you hear that PS4s with PT on it are selling for a couple $1,000s on eBay?
All right. Being sold for and selling are different words because they do not have the same meaning. Selling implies that someone actually bought them, and being sold for implies someone is attempting to sell them. And one of the things on eBay is that some fucking asshole put a PS4 with PT on it for $15,000. It didn't sell because that's a ludicrous amount of money to play PT when a PS4 is like a couple $100. Like this is a lot. That's a huge markup for a fucking 30-minute demo.
I've seen it on eBay actually selling for around $1,000, but 15,000.
Yeah,
crazy.
There was one.
But you can't blame people because it worked with Flappy Bird.
Once again, I don't think they were actually selling. I think they were attempting to sell. I think that some of them for like 15 grand for a fucking $1,000 phone.
If you looked under the sold for listings, you wouldn't have been happy.
people make me upset all the time. Okay, I just walk around mad. That's just what I do at this point.
The PT ones aren't selling for that much, but I think one's sold for at least 1,000.
All right, I'll believe you. Anyways, they are no longer able to be re-downloaded. So if you delete it, it's gone forever. Which actually, it makes a lot of sense, seeing as it is a fucking like play test for a game that is canceled. So the other thing about PT is that Silent Hills is canceled.
It makes me so sad because that was one like rare game one Konami game I was actually looking into getting.
Well, like, no one involved with that project was still at Konami at that point, so it doesn't make sense to not, like, it makes sense to cancel it.
Yeah, pretty much, but
like, Kojima is no longer at the company, so who the fuck is gonna make this video game?
I was gonna make a joke, but I can't even think of the name anyways. Whoever the main character of Silent Hills was gonna be. It was like, he could just make the game himself.
Oh, the guy from The Walking Dead?
Yeah.
Reedus Norman?
Yeah. You could just
or
make
Norman Reedus, is that his name?
Yeah, Norman Reedus or something like that. Yeah, I'm looking at the sold listings on eBay. One sold for $2,000.
Yeah, I think one of the things about PT and why it had to like be pulled down is because the game wasn't being made. They like lost the rights to certain things. Like they lost commercial rights to some stuff related to it.
Yeah.
So they had to stop the distribution of it.
That sucks because so many people were hyped for that game with Konami's name, with Kojima's name on it, and Del Rio, I don't know, with Pacific Rim guy on it too. It was looking to be really good. That demo came out of nowhere and it was amazing. And so it just sucks that that's just something that we'll never get unless Kojima and them go on Kickstarter.
But they don't have the rights.
Oh, God damn it. Just name it something else. Let's go Pacific Rim guy and Kojima work on horror game. Title, whatever the hell they want to call it. And Norman Reedus won't be the main character, but it'll still be the same game and it'll be fucking great.
Who knows what Kojima's going to do. Anyways, Silent Hills has been canceled, and Konami has also pulled themselves out of the New York Stock Exchange. Which, to some people meant, oh my god, Konami's going bankrupt. Oh my god, it's the end of Konami. They're going to go away forever. Which isn't true. Like, it makes sense why they actually pulled themselves out of the New York Stock Exchange. It turns out, like, 99% of their trades are on the EU and Asian stock exchanges, and so you have to like pay to be on the New York Stock Exchange, and if you don't perform on that stock exchange like at a certain, like, if you don't sell enough in a month basically, then they pull you off the stock exchange. And I'm assuming that they weren't selling enough because like 1% of their global trades were on the New York Stock Exchange and everything else was in Europe and Asia. So that's probably not good enough.
Yeah.
But like, one of the things about Konami is they're making a lot of money. They're doing really well actually in pachinko. If you look at, and also they're doing really well in mobile games. They have a wing, like a division that publishes mobile games in China and Japan, and like they're making a lot of money. Way more money than fucking Metal Gear makes. Like, at some point you have to think about like, what does Konami have for big AAA game development, and like what does it cost? And when they were doing like Metal Gear 3, for example, games were cheaper to make, and also Kojima was still using like cheaper voice actors and doing less for art. Like, it was less visually impressive than it is now. And I think, like, with this last run around, like, they basically just used to give Kojima whatever money he wanted, and they would make a Metal Gear game, and shit would be good. Like, they would make a bunch of money. but you make less money now off of AAA games because of the development costs being so huge on programmers, and then also asset generation. Like, art is hugely expensive, and you need a ton of it now. And I think at some point, Kojima probably asked for a shitload of money so that he could have, goddamn, what's his name?
Norman Reedus?
No, the Jack Bauer guy from Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, I have no clue.
He's Canadian, fucking plays Jack Bauer in 24. Is replacing David Hayter.
About.
Or not David Hayter, David fucking... Oh my god, who's the voice actor for fucking Snake?
People are going to hate you forever because of today.
Yeah, I can't fucking remember his goddamn name.
First you bash Banjo-Kazooie, now you can't remember the name of Metal Gear Solid Man.
Of Snake? You mean Snake?
Yeah. Metal Gear Solid.
People are going to be mad at you because you don't know his fucking character's name.
At least I don't hate Banjo-Kazooie, and I know his name. I'm just making fun of you. I can hear you typing.
Yeah, because I had to look it up. You're right. I looked it up. You caught me. Fucking, god damn it, Kiefer. Fucking, what's his first fucking name? Whatever. Oh, David Hayter is the fucking name. I got it right the first time. But for whatever reason, when I said David Hayter, I was thinking the comedian. I was like, that's not right, because he's a comedian. Same name. Same fucking name. Spelled differently, but same pronunciation. Kiefer Sutherland. That's what his fucking name is. Anyways, I think at some point, like, Kojima asked Konami for way too much money, and they went, no, this doesn't make any sense anymore. Like, we don't need to make Metal Gear games, because this is not going to be that profitable. Especially when they're making a ton of money, like, hand over fist on fucking pachinko, and they're doing really well in mobile games. So why continue with AAA game development? Because what even franchises do they own to do AAA game development in that are, like, hugely popular? They have Metal Gear, and that's it.
Yeah.
And if it's costing too much money to make Metal Gear, then why bother making Metal Gear? Because, like, Silent Hills was not going to be the huge fucking, like, blockbuster game. Like, it's not going to compare with Call of Duty numbers. It's not going to compare with, like, Dragon Age or Mass Effect or World of Warcraft or fucking anything. Like, Silent Hills is a horror game and it's going to cost a shitload of money to make and is not going to perform at, like, the same level as all of these other projects. So why bother, like, making all of these AAA games when you don't even have the IPs to sell them? So
yeah,
like, I think at some point it just stopped making sense for Konami to make games. So
they have markets in other places, like making fucking bajillions of dollars off of pieces of paper.
Yeah, like, some of the arguments that I hear about Konami is like, if they made this game, then it would be a huge deal, and, like, they would make so much money. But it's like, no, they wouldn't make any money. It would be a big deal to people who read gaming sites and listen to gaming podcasts, but fucking no one else gives a shit.
Yeah. I'm looking on their site, and there really isn't much that they have. They have a football game, Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill, Castlevania, and
yeah, and who wants to play more
Suikoden.
Castlevania? They fucking...
Yeah, exactly. And there's Suikoden and Zone of the Enders. So they really don't have anything.
Yeah, like, it doesn't make sense for them to continue to work in the AAA space. They should continue with their mobile stuff out of their subsidiaries and just do the pachinko shit, because it makes them a ton of money. And like, with pachinko, they're making, like, they have, like, Silent Hills themed pachinko machines and, like, Metal Gear themed pachinko machines, and, like, it's dumb, it's silly, and it's just, like, big money right now. And for whatever reason, like, I listened to the 8-4-Play podcast, which is a podcast, it's in English, but it's by a bunch of it's from a localization company in Japan that is, like, it's all, like, English speakers, and a lot of them are from the US and Canada, and they live in Japan, and they localize video games from English to Japanese and Japanese to English. Like they localized Monster Hunter 4, and on the podcast that they did last week, they were talking about Konami and pachinko, and they're like talking about how pachinko is like coming back in Japan. And like pachinko used to just have like these tiny little pachinko halls that were basically like closing down. They used to be like right outside of like subway stations, and for whatever reason, like they're getting really big again, and like they're full and expanding, and there's like new halls popping up, and like this was not the case 10 years ago. Like pachinko looked like it was going to be gone, and now it's become like a big thing again. Like gambling is on the rise. So yeah, like it seems like Sega and Konami and everyone else who's involved in pachinko is like doing pretty well in pachinko again. And in the case of Konami, like they don't have fucking video games, so why continue like wasting money trying to make video games?
Wonder if a pachinko would ever do well in America.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I think it would have already. I feel like pachinko halls, like pachinko would exist at the casino if people wanted to play fucking pachinko.
but I don't know. Like, have they really tried it? I haven't really seen like or heard anything of like
No, it seems like an exclusively Japanese thing.
Vegas tried pachinko machines and they failed epically. Like, I don't know.
Who knows, man?
Probably not. We'll probably never see it here.
Probably not. Anyways, it just kind of like, I'm not that surprised that Konami is kind of done doing stuff and like canceling all of their Kojima related projects. Because anyways, like if you think about the Konami like video game division, not even just do they not have IP, but who is another like company man that you associate that company with? Like, do you know anyone else from Konami who isn't Kojima?
Nope.
Me neither. And like, I bet I couldn't fucking find someone, because now I did know there was the guy who made Castlevania, but he's not there anymore. He left because they like stuck him on fucking mobile games, so he quit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anyone else who designs games or is like a face for that company.
No one.
So yeah,
there's no face for it anymore. So, and with the amount of following that Kojima has, he probably doesn't care. He probably already has a plan, and we'll probably hear about it sometime in the future. Within this year, we'll probably hear something.
Probably like after Metal Gear. I know that people are already freaking out about Metal Gear and like, oh my god, did Kojima leave before Metal Gear was done? What's happening with Metal Gear? And like the voice actors a couple weeks ago were like on Twitter like rallying like, hey guys, Metal Gear's coming out this year. You guys should buy it and play it. It's a great game. Like people who are like just voice actors in that game are like going out there being like, you guys should play Metal Gear. It's gonna be good. It's great. We can't talk about Kojima, but Metal Gear. Did you see the announcement from Konami this morning that I found fucking amazing?
What?
So they were teasing this thing, Metal Gear 1984. Or was it Metal Gear 1984? It was like 19 something. Metal Gear 1987? No, it would have been 1984. But yeah, the 1984 collection was announced. And do you want... Okay, can you take a guess as to what it is?
The old games on the NES?
No. I'll give you another guess.
The first game remastered?
No.
I have no clue.
It's a hoodie and a hat. It's a clothing line.
Wow. Okay, never mind.
Yep. I assumed you wouldn't guess it. That's why I let you take a guess. It's shoes and a hat and a hoodie.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
Just like, what a solid way to announce that. Like, they just like released this teaser image that looked like it was the Metal Gear like the original Metal Gear came out in 1984. It looked, so the image looked like, oh, it's gonna be a remaster of that. Like, what a great idea! Remaster the 2 Metal Gear games that like no one's played because they came out on the NES, and like, nope, fucking
shirt,
clothes,
sweater, and shoes,
and hat.
Let's make shoes for the game that no one played.
Yeah. Anyways, let's wrap this up. There's not a lot. I don't think there's anything left. We've been going at this for a bit over an hour, so.
Yeah, I think we're all good.
You sound a little tired.
I'm fine.
You're not about to like pass out on me?
No.
It's only 10 o'clock there. You can't do it yet. Anyways, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening and or watching to the 84th episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast. I've been your host, Ryan. With me, as always, Joe.
Hello. Goodbye.
Hello and goodbye. Is hello now like aloha? Is
no.
It's good for both? No.
I'm just saying hello to you.
Goodbye to them.
And goodbye to them.
All right. Well, fair enough. Anyways, thank you for watching and or listening to the 84th episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast. I've been your host, Ryan. He's been Joe. Goodbye.
Bye.